welcome to I Am Woke, you guys. I'm your host, Emelina Calder. I don't have a specific topic in mind for you guys today in this video other than like talking about identity shifting and some cool things that I have had going on. I don't know who's up and wants to chat right now, but I'm open to doing an AMA. I legitimately was just like so grateful, so vibing with myself, so perpetually in a complete state of gratitude over who I've become, the opportunities that I'm able to capture and work with at this point in my life. And I just, everything inside of me was like, get on a live stream and talk about identity shifting and some of what you've moved through, like very transparently. And again, I don't have like an agenda per se. So if you want to wander with me on this, I'll call it a rant on the stream. That's what I've got in mind. So if you're here for it, great. Like this video, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. If you dig my content and you love and adore me, please share my channel, share my videos with a friend that you think might like this content and might benefit from it. That is my subtle little ask for you guys, with you guys. Also, I have the Summer Quantum Breakthrough one-on-one coaching program. It's an 8-week program. There's an option to extend it into a 12-week program that is open for enrollment for the next week at a very discounted rate than I typically work with people when I do more ongoing one-on-one work. So it is some very deep diving identity work. So we're going to be going into your Akashic records in the first session together and getting the map, the blueprint for your identity shift, and your guardians in the Akashic records are going to help me break down how to shift you through it faster. I am an expert at identity shifting. I don't know what else I would call it. It's identity shifting. It's being able to change and shift the facet of your energy so that you're pulling out like your highest potential over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what I do. Anyway, I'm going to get into that more. If you are interested, just shoot me an email and I will send you, I have a Google Doc with all the details and testimonials from previous clients and the whole thing. And you can see if it's the right fit for you. My email is wearewokeaf@gmail.com or hi@iamwoke.co. The email address is in the description below. One more thing, if you are new to the Akashic Records and you want to learn to get your feet wet in reading and meditating within your own Akashic Records and Blueprint of the Soul, you can check the link I have in the description below. I have a free 8-part video training, really incredible. If you guys don't know me, I'm a personal and spiritual development coach and mentor, and I over-deliver like it's my job, you guys. Like, my free trainings are incredible. My paid trainings are incredible. I get emails from people all the time that are like, how did you put all of that into this paid program? Like, there's so much value. And I'm like, I know, I love to share. Like, I love to give. I'm a natural giver. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to share. I can't stop the downloads for like new programs that are coming in for you guys. Like, when I tap into the collective and the Akashic Records, what everyone needs, it's just like nonstop. Like, I have so many programs I want to launch, and I'm like, I'm one person. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Right now, I've probably got like 6 that I'm like, people need this. This needs to be done now. And I'm like, oh my God, who has the time? All I need to be doing is live streaming, apparently, and doing so in group programs and one-on-one. Anyway, like I said, this is going to be a rant stream, so if you're here for it, you're here for it. I have my shamanic staff with me. Really, we're going on rants, okay? This is all going to be about identity shifting. I'll circle back to it. There will likely be something of value here for you, but I'm just going to talk anyway. This is a druid staff, a shamanic staff that I made / has a consciousness that called out to me. Anyway. My ancestors are with us. My ancestors have been severely upgraded since the Lionsgate portal. Those of you that joined me in the Lionsgate portal workshop, we connected to the ancestors of all the shamans that have ever lived on the planet. And they are now, as a collective, my ancestors. So they come through, they asked me to program them into the staff. So this allows me to connect with millions and millions and millions of earth-based native ancestry. I don't know why I'm saying that, other than maybe they just want their presence known right now. They are incredible. It's one of those things like that Lionsgate workshop, which if you'd like access to, the downloads are very active and you don't need to take it on the Lionsgate. You can go to my website and check it out, and you can purchase it there. It's like, I don't know, 5 hours of instructional content and activations. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever channeled. Truly. They brought in millions of shamanic ancestors and recoded the ancestry of everyone in the group. If you were to take it, you would also receive that recoding. But anyway, what's been really beautiful about it, that workshop specifically, because this was programmed in me a few weeks ago, is my guides came to me and they were like, we know you feel alone. Because I'm I don't know how to explain it. The people that know me. There are noises coming into my kitchen. Hold on. No, we're good. Okay, so I'm very otherworldly. And when I say that, I mean like a lot of my energy is cosmically oriented, like is reading, is understanding, not as a traditional psychic, but more, for those of you that understand, more as a prophet or an oracle. I'm like very, very different than is typical for humanity. Anyway, I don't have a problem with it, but my guides like came forward to me and they were like, we know you feel kind of alone because there aren't very many people like you. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I mean, it is what it is. And they were like, well, here's the deal. You have millions of earth-based shamanic ancestors that, my shirt is just like falling apart. I don't even care. There are millions of shamanic ancestors that want to guide and support you so that you no longer have to feel alone, because you actually have like the not even cosmic, this is like the human support, but it's not human. It's my mediumship, right? And then I've got all of this new cosmic support from the Syrian Ascended Master ancestors that are supporting me from above, below, all around my womb. I'm supported everywhere. And after the Lionsgate workshop, for days, I was meditating and I would feel hands on me, just so many hands. And I kept hearing this group of ancestors, the earthly based shamanic ancestry, just saying, you're not alone. We have your back. Like, we're here with you. We're here with you every waking moment of your day and of your life. Now, why this is coming through the stream right now, I think I'm getting a little inkling, so I'll walk through it. You guys will find out if you don't know already. Everything I do is a channel, is a divine message. Even my rants that I don't think I do that often, but I'd like to do more of. And what they're saying is like, if you do feel isolated in any way, you are not truly alone. There is a lot of access if you ask for spirit to fill in the gaps that the humans can't fill. There is so much access to support. So, for example, I feel like people end up in two camps. Like, you are either surrounded by people, surrounded by other humans, having tons of contacts, but maybe don't connect with them well, or feel like you're alone in a crowd or alone in a relationship. I know a lot of people feel like that. What's really ironic is like, I've never felt alone, truly, I would say, because I've had constant guidance my whole life. The majority of my life, like when humans, like for you guys to know, like come in and out of my life. There is very little like consistency, for generally speaking, for the types of people that I have in my life, because of how quickly I shift and change through identity. Obviously, that would come with its own version of post-traumatic growth, which I'm continually shifting through, I would say. But anyway, the point there is like, it's so funny because there haven't been that many people in my life that have really stuck around very long. But I feel constantly connected because I've got so many guides and so much spiritual data, intuition. There's always a presence with me. I can always feel my higher self. I can always, now I can feel these ancestors. And it's like so funny, like even riding, you know, I was riding the bus today and I was like, the ancestors were with me on the bus. Like they were literally with me. Like I saw like a few shamans in my third eye on the bus with me. I'm like, when I'm not on the bus and I'm at home, I've got all these plants and I have so many, whether or not you believe this, I don't even mind. I'm going to say what needs to be said. I have dozens of fairies that live in my apartment and that cultivate this like fifth dimensional energy with me. And they're constantly grabbing my attention and like showing me different frequencies. I can see frequencies of energy now physically. And it's like such a dazzling, delightful surprise for me. So anyway, I guess all of that to say I entertain myself. I don't really need people, but I'm happy to interact with people. So if you fall in that category, one of the two categories, at the end of the day, you're not alone. You're just not alone. Even when we think we're alone, we're not alone. Even if we are alone, like I guess to a degree, I was alone because all of these ancestors stepped forward in two different ways and I didn't expect it. And I was like, they were like, we know you feel alone. And I was like, I don't know. I haven't really been thinking about it. Like, I don't know. I just do what I do. But even that they had pointed it out and then supplied a need that I didn't know that I had, and then extended that need to like at least 20 people that were in that workshop, which is so cool, you guys. It's so cool. I don't know where I'm going to go with this, but the biggest message I have right now that I'm just there are a few things coming up. I'm so happy with myself, and I hope that you guys get to this point as well, because it really does come down to unlocking your highest potential. Like, what does that look like on a daily basis? Well, right now for me, it looks like like the orgasmic gratitude of when your internal image there are things going on. I don't know what's going on in here, but it's when your internal image, the idea of who you feel like you are internally, matches the external appearance. It matches how you feel in your body. It matches your relationships. It matches your expression. It matches who you are. And I won't say I've never been in this position in the past, but this is the most potent position I'm in, where it feels so satisfying to know that I have been working for the last 10 years to be this woman, and I am this woman, and I feel totally seamless and so effing content in the version of myself that I've cultivated and that I have become. And I want you guys to understand, it's not an overnight process. It is a constant unfolding. It is a constant onion layer after onion layer after onion layer, working through your consciousness of your energy, your subtle energy body, the subtle understanding of tweaking of like psychic communication. All of you guys are reading it to some level or another, between yourself and others, yourself in the field, yourself in the matrix, yourself in other power grids. The way that I see kind of the matrix, it's like there are lots of power lines and power grids, and they go to different people, different corporations, etc. And I can read them, and you can pick up on all that data too, to some level. Where is it going with this? So it's understanding that. It's understanding how you interpret emotions. I had a beautiful conversation today with one of my photographers, that around being empathic. And it's so funny because I feel like everyone that I meet that's new, like within the first 5 minutes of meeting me, they're like, I'm really empathic. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I guess spirit is placing me in front of people that need me. And like, so this wonderful woman today was asking me, she was like, well, do you like absorb things? Like, how do you know what's yours emotionally or what's not? I was like, I do absorb, which is why I'm very careful of the environments that I'm in. And being empathic for me comes down to, it's a very, very high sensitivity. So I know you guys like see me on camera. If you see me in person, like I'm highly, highly sensitive to people, to energies, to environments. I can feel things going on down the street. Like, so I'm very, I'm constantly curating a very selective, safe experience for myself, so that I don't absorb things that I don't want anywhere near me. And if anything were to happen like that, honestly, my guides grab my attention and they're like, hey, get out of this. You know, it really comes down to trusting, for me, trusting your gut. And this is my advice as well. Trusting your gut, trusting your body. When your body says leave, leave. If you're getting really bored and you're with people, or bored in a situation, or it's like feeling like it takes more energy to be somewhere than it is to leave, it's time to leave. I can't tell you how many times my body has alerted me just immediately, just like, and it doesn't even have to be against anything negative. It's just like, it's time to go. Are you avoiding something negative in that moment? Perhaps. Was I? Perhaps. Is it just an opportunity because I'm supposed to run into someone in 5 minutes or 30 minutes and I don't even know? Like, perhaps. Is it just that my body wants to remove myself from the environment because somebody negative stepped in and the grids changed in a room? Yeah, perhaps. Our bodies are constantly intuiting safety and energetic data in real time. And if you're paying attention to your body, the intuition works through the body first. It's just often not linear or logical. So most people are highly psychic and they receive the intuitive information through the body data, and then they override it because it doesn't make any sense and they don't know how to make sense of it, and they deny the intuition. And then they override it and they stay in environments that are unsafe, but your body likely alerted you through fidgeting, through like wanting to leave, through getting angry all of a sudden, through having a gut reaction, through just having a weird feeling or a weird vibe. What I will say, not that I want to say, the child version of myself is not interested in this, but here's the reality. There are a lot of very seedy people in this world. And unfortunately, I encounter them all the time. And a lot of them are silent. Like there's no actual engagement or interaction, but the second someone with a very alternate agenda or ill intent steps into a room, like I feel everything shift. Depending on how it's affecting my energy, my guides will get my attention and either move me out of the environment. Again, I'm very sensitive. They'll either move me out of the environment, or they'll have me put up walls and boundaries. They'll have me protect rooms. They'll have me set protection on the grids for people or grids for cities. I'm sure there are some of you in my audience that are doing active grid work. I am also a grid worker. I have met other grid workers that generally come into Los Angeles to do the grid work, which is where they're raising the vibrational frequency of the city, which is certainly work that I do. Even just going to coffee shops, y'all. I feel like I'm like on duty most of the time, and I'm like, Spirit, you paying me? Like, like what? You better pay me in puppy cuddles. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear that? Somebody's having a bad day over there. Thanks for vibing with me. Let me know what resonates in the comments as well, if anything does. And if this is not your jam, then don't worry about it. Okay. So anyway, I really love the idea of when your internal image of yourself and like who you've dreamed yourself into being, like who, like in your dreams, who you wanted to become, the version of yourself you wanted to become, the level of strength, the level of power that you occupy within yourself, like when those things sync up with your actual expression. Yo, Dylan, vibing. I'm happy to see you in here. Amazing. When they actually sync up with your like physical, practical expression today, a number of things. One, that is true alignment with your higher self and your lower self. like the version of you now, that's like real alignment with your soul. It feels incredible. It is a really, really high vibrational state of being, and things just start to magically line up because there's so much less conflict in between what you want and how you express that, which is also to allow it in. When you express who you are, you allow what you are into your heart, into your life, and it drastically changes everything around you. It will like, I don't even know how to explain this. It'll like increase the vibration of any room you're in. You'll see people around you lift and just change and like smile more. And it's like a really fun, awkward, beautiful thing. Also, if you can't hear, there's banging next door. And I also think that when we vibe this high, there's always, for you guys to remember, there's always like a shadow component. There's always something that will come to confront that, because we live in a world of contrast, because Earth is always polarizing, because you can't just out-vibrate yourself into some reality where everything is perfect and the law of attraction only brings you perfection. Like, it's like, hello, everybody else is manifesting around you as well. Now, I am going to give some credit here to Caroline Mice because I adore her. And I went to one of her in-person workshops a few years ago. And it was like a really transformative experience for me to get to said workshop in Colorado and then actually to go through it. And I asked her, and I just loved her answer and everything, so I'm gonna expand on it. I asked her, I was like, listen, so we attract everything, right? Like, we're mirrors. We attract everything that's going on in our environment. So like, what happens when somebody blows up at me on the street that's like a stranger, or like cuts me off in a car, or like, am I attracting that? Because I really wanted to hear an answer from someone that had more life experience than myself. If you guys don't know Carolyn Mice, she's not entertaining the way that I can be per se, but she's incredible. I love her work so much. And you know what she said to me? It was like I don't think she used the word assholes, but she was like some version of like, she was like, Emelina, like, yes, you are always receiving what you're putting back. But also, what she said to me, she said, some days I just leave the house and I'm in a bad mood. And I just don't give a F what is going on around me. I'm just gonna bad mood my way through my day. And she was like, sometimes you just run into people in a bad mood, in a bad way, because they are also manifesting, and because we are all collaboratively like working on the planet together like little ants, like doing our thing. You can't avoid humans. Some humans are dedicated to having a bad day. And sometimes they will run into you, either metaphorically or literally. And that's not to say that you're attracting that. It's to say that we live in a world of contrast. What you are attracting is your response. What is your response in situations like that? How do you manage it? When you know that you might be pissing someone off or aggravating them in some way, how do you respond to it? Do you go quiet and go, oh, I won't take up any space. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking up space in this planet. Let me be a little more quiet. Or do you go like, yo, I'll be respectful, I'll lower my voice a little bit, but like, I'm here, like, I'm, you know, I gotta live my life, I gotta do what I need to do. I don't know why we're going into that riff, but we are. Everything, you guys will find out with the psychic, how I do anything psychic, in the moment, in any present moment, generally speaking, especially with someone like me, because the way my energy interacts because of my level of presence, is that any microcosm represents the macrocosm of what's going on, and I can break down the symbology and the stories of what's going on in any micro moment and be able to gather an immediate larger overarching spiritual message. So it's like streams like this. When I'm ranting, it's not even me ranting. It's literally me communicating the energy of the moment that is looking to get to you in a new way. Ironically, in a way where I'm just kind of like ranting storytelling about myself or things that I'm happy or proud of myself for, which I'm going to share that as well because I think that stuff's really important. I'm going to write that down. I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to ask ancestors here if they want to communicate anything because I feel like they've been trying to pop through. And then I'll jump into being proud of yourself. I'm not going to tell you what they just said to me. They told me some version of be who you are. It does not matter who might be upset about it. Okay, so I want to talk about being proud of yourself. Because I think this is an interesting way to tell. Oh my gosh, the things that happen. I'm like trying to like lower my voice, but I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't know where my voice is communicating either, if it's like going through the phone or if it actually comes through the mic. Like, can you hear that? I don't know. I don't know how the mic works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so something I've noticed in myself recently that I feel like would be beneficial. Confirmation day. You're right, with the text message that came in. You're right, that was a confirmation. You know what they're saying? They're like, just show up. Like, you know when you're doing things that you need to be doing. You know when you're respectful of other people's needs or not. And you know when other people are being demanding. You know when other people are being unreasonable. And it's not our job to shrink. It's our job to continue to show up. Not show up in a way that's mean, but certainly take up some space. It's really important. Anyway, okay, this has been happening in a lot of conversations with me recently, and I want to bring it up because I think it's really, really, really valuable. And I hope you guys start to do it. And maybe we can start a little club around it, and you can let me know. Okay, so when I'm in conversations with friends and acquaintances of mine, and they're like, how are you? You know, what's going on? I find myself frequently, it happens almost daily, frequently sharing something that I'm really proud of myself for. And I ask them, I ask my friends, I'm like, can I share something with you that I'm really, really proud of myself for? And they're always like, yeah, of course, please. And then I'm like, you know what? I overcame a really big obstacle today. Here's how I handled it, and this is what happened. And I'm so excited that I took the leap, or I'm so excited that I had the conversation. I'm so excited that I set that boundary. I'm so excited that my standards are high and that I'm able to respond and take up space in any moment, setting boundaries while respecting my own space. Tanya, hi sweetheart. Wait, where's the comment? Yes, okay, so Tanya said, I get pushed to shrink when I hold people accountable to their behavior decisions that affects me and others negatively. Yes, so what you can't see right now is that there's a behavior that's affecting me, that's a subtle, passive-aggressive ask for me to stop doing what I'm doing in my home, quietly. But I'm not gonna do that, because I deserve to be here. And because I'm at home, and because I'm being respectful. So that's one of those, it's like, the boundary is we continue to take up space without being jerks. That's how I say it. And that's one of the things I told one of my friends last week. I was like, I'm really, really, really proud of myself because someone reached out to me that did not deserve any of my attention or energy and was looking to steal energy from me as a vampire. And I literally just responded so well. I just shut it down. They're like, oh, I'm here at the beach, like we should come to get together. And I was like, actually, I'm just not interested. I'm so bold with people. Like, I don't have the time to like work around lies. I was like, I'm actually just not interested in talking. And it set such a clear boundary and like removed any level of people pleasing out of me. To the point where I told 3 people when I got home. I told 3 of my neighbors. I was like, listen, I'm really, really proud of myself. Can I share what happened today? I set a boundary that typically I would have people pleased right through. Because if you guys don't know, I would call a recovering people pleaser or a recovered people pleaser. I really don't people please anymore, but like, man, it's such a big part of my personality. So for me to have set a boundary like that, knowing that someone wanted my time, knowing that they went out of their way to see me, I did not invite any of this, by the way. It is some creepy behavior. and then they expected me just to bend to them, and I was like, I'm literally not interested. I was like on the beach in my bikini, like sunbathing. I was like, I'm not talking to you. Like I'm here for me. This is my self-care. If I don't have this time, I can't run my life. Like, I have to be on the beach once a week. Biggest message is coming through right now is take up space. Respond well. It's not about being a jerk. You know, you don't have to set boundaries by throwing people out and by telling them off. You know, you just tell your truth. Simply, effectively. I can't tell you how many times I tell people, like, for uninvited conversations, uninvited things, strangers, like random shit. You can feel it off of these people. You're like, you have an alternate agenda. You're withholding. I don't know what it is. I don't care. Get away from me. That's like the vibe. I literally often say, I'm not interested in having a conversation. I'll give you another example from Santa Monica. I go to Santa Monica all the time, right? And I have the weirdest interactions in Santa Monica, by the way. I think Santa Monica is occupied by aliens. Not like me, alien, like aliens dressed as humans. They're very strange. I don't understand it. Part of the population. It's very alien. Weird things happen when I'm down there. Also delightful things happen when I'm down there. And I'm always just like, what is going on here? Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, well, okay, so I was down by the pier, and someone just all of a sudden started talking to me with so much authority. Obviously a man, probably looking to pick me up. And he just he did some like typical manipulation tactics. I tend to know them all, and I'm very knowledgeable of them, so I was just like, oh God, here we go. And then he looked at me and he was like, why aren't you talking to me? And I said, you're a stranger and I have zero interest in speaking with you. And then I turned around and walked away. And he was like, oh. like that's it. That's it. I don't know. I just speak my truth at this point. What's beautiful, and maybe you guys will find this in yourselves too, is like when the people-pleasing, shrinking aspects of yourself start to dissolve, there's no, like, you kind of just realize there's no image you have to keep up. And this is like circling back to that identity pattern where it's like your internal image becomes the external expression. So, circling back to the conversation I had with the photographer today, I had a photo shoot today. It was beautiful and very vibey. And I cannot wait to show you these photos, you guys. I had 2 photo shoots this week. They're so yummy. That's where a lot of this is stemming from, because it's like, it's been so effortless between my modeling, my facial expressions, my poses, my outfits, the way people perceive me. It was also very ironic this week because I had multiple people ask me if I've done modeling and if I am a model, and it's like so funny because people have no idea how hard you work for things. And I was like, no, but man, I was an Instagram expert and Instagram coach for like a decade. So, and they're like, oh yeah, freaking influencer shit, which is why I haven't done too many photo shoots and stuff over the last couple of years, because I just get over it. It's just like, Listen, if you guys wanted to know, I can tell you exactly where to go in Los Angeles, what walls, what poses to hold, how to take the photos. You can have your friends do them, and you'll have a very popular account in like 2 weeks. There is a formula to these things. Yeah, the photographer was like, she was like, you're really good at modeling. And I was like, you learn, you pick it up. I was like, I'm well practiced. I was like, I didn't do modeling, but I did a lot of Instagram and I taught people how to pose. I am a creative director. I have directed many a photo shoot. You just get to know what angles look good. What's even more ironic about that, if you guys don't know, many of you won't know, my guides had a lot of funny things to say about this too, the Akashic records. I was in 2 New York Times articles a few, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 5 years ago. And the New York Times articles, would you say goodness for personal development? Professional development. Yeah. It's so good. That's what I mean. These rants are like so, I don't know, there's going to be good things in here. The New York Times articles that featured me as an expert were so wildly superficial. I thought it was the funniest shit ever. I was like, out of all of the things they could have interviewed me about, I was asked about the importance. This is so hilarious. I'm embarrassed. I was asked about the importance of which side of your face looks better in photos and how to catch your right angles. I'm gonna die. It's so superficial. When people ask me, they're like, why did you stop doing social media consulting? I'm like, because I didn't stop. I do some here and there, but it's not my main gig the way that it was. Because it's so superficial. I'm here for it, stepping into the next career, eating this up. Great. Dylan, what's your next career? Oh. I won't say that on stream because I don't know if you want me to. Okay, sweet. Yay! Presentation's really, it's really important. It's really important to personal branding. It's really important to personal trust. Where personal branding and presentation get messed up is the more narcissistic attitude that is really held up in our society, which is like, you need to be the perception that other people want and pretend to be a perception of what other people want in order to gain their approval or their money, right? And that's like the narcissism, like where we're perfecting the external image in order to manipulate people. And that's not what I'm about or what I teach. You guys will see more. I'm really ramping up. I can feel it in myself that I will be posting on my marketing channel. Excuse me. Personal branding from a spiritual perspective. Because I do think that presentation is very, very important. And I think that I'm very detail oriented to presentation to a hyper degree, but it's very subconscious for me that I forget to talk about it. So I'm gonna start opening that up a little bit. I think I might shoot a video, hopefully I'll have some energy the next few days, to shoot a video about photo shoots, because I just went through 2 and I'm like, oh my God, people don't even, like when I showed up for the shoot, the photographer was like, you know what you're doing. I was like, I'm a creative director. She was like, B, how do you know all of your angles like that? I was like, I'm a creative director and I know how to work my body and I know what looks good and what doesn't. I know the angles of the photos. What I'm not is a photographer officially. Like, I don't know the actual mechanics of photography. I'm still young. I will learn it in my lifetime. And I will love photography. It's been on my list for a very, very long time. But when it comes to creative direction, I am hyper attentive to details. Like even the softness of my jaw and my facial expressions and photos. She was laughing at me today because she was like, I do this all the time when I have to do photo shoots. Like, I can hold the poses. I know which poses to move. You move like every a few seconds. You just got to know your angles, where the camera is, where you're looking, like 45 degrees. You have to know literally your angles, okay? So I know, for example, as superficial as this is, I know it, right? That's why photos turn out well with me. I know like my nose, if it's in certain directions, will look different than others. I know I have an angular face. So a lot of photographers will try to position people into like power moves because most people don't have angular faces. So you want to like bring your neck forward, create distance in your jaw, look down, slightly down, push your neck out. There are a lot of different photography motives and moves that don't work with me because of my jawline, because of my high cheekbones. And it's funny because it took me years, but I would never, this is like the first time I've ever spoken about this publicly, by the way. It makes me feel so superficial. I'm like, oh, Emelina, don't tell them about that. Like, and I'm like, I don't even mind. It's just running in my subconscious. And I forget that these are valuable things to share with people. Like if you wonder why models look good in photos versus civilians, they know their angles. And that's why the New York Times interviewed me, because I know how to describe this shit, because I'm a creative director. This stuff is so funny. Anyway, I haven't received feedback like this in a while, so it was funny for the photographer to be like, you really know your angles. She was like, you know the poses in your body. I don't even have to tell you what to do. I was like, yeah. Like, and then she was like, man, you just fall right into a vibe. You just feel yourself, and you can feel the energy that's projecting out of your body, and you know what it is. I was like, yeah, I guess it's probably some form of acting, but I'm not acting. I'm being me. I'm just projecting an expression through me that is the most me in the moment that I want to get across to the camera. Because the energy you want to shoot through the camera. It's why I can be so entertaining, why people call me so charismatic on camera. It's like I'm moving through the camera. Where most people stop short. Maybe I'll do a training on this at some point on my personal branding channel that you guys can follow. Just search my name, Emelina Calder, on YouTube. The personal branding channel will pop up. On energy projection, on presentation, on camera skills, on charisma. These are things that I've had naturally since I was a kid, but I've worked on them my entire life. So it's like things I forget, there really are in my subconscious. Like the camera, like I can't tell you, like years ago I would work on this. I would work on when you're talking to a camera, whether or not you're live, your energy will change based on where you're projecting your literal energy. So if I project my voice, and my energy is coming out of my heart right now, mostly a little bit out of my solar plexus, mostly my heart, up here, my throat, right? So I'm projecting. So let me see if you guys can actually notice the difference. Maybe this will be interesting. Let me, where do I want to project my energy? Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you guys. Let me think of any story that I can tell. I'm projecting my energy 8 inches short of the camera. So I'm projecting the energy to here physically. Okay, so I've been working through my identity patterns. I've been thinking a lot about who I am internally, who I am externally, and how I want to present myself, and the lessons that I have been, I can't even speak, you guys. This is so hard. I'm projecting my energy to here. I'm stopping short of the camera. And I can feel the energetic difference that it makes in what you're receiving, because I don't feel confident. And it's like when you are communicating, this goes for public speaking as well. And I've been thinking about teaching on public speaking. Anything presentation oriented, personal branding oriented, public image oriented. Also, none of these things really are superficial. There's just a lot of superficial people doing them and talking about them and doing them for people-pleasing tactics. But if more spiritual people really perfected their presentation skills, and by presentation I mean not to people-please, I mean presentation is in the pride of the beauty of your personal expression. You really took pride in your personal expression, how you look, how you speak, how you project, how you interact. There's magic there. There's magic there. Also, there's so much alchemy happening with me on screen right now that you guys are watching. I've never pieced this together publicly. I've never shot a video like this before. This is a lot of what's running in my subconscious, and it just like, it took a photo shoot to slow me down and realize that I am hyper analyzing and looking for opportunity in personal expression and presentation in an authentic way on subconscious autopilot all the time. And a lot of the way I move through this world and my motives is from that place. And a lot of the personal development work that I've had to do in the past is learning how to separate what parts of that are being done to get a response or to get a specific reaction, some level of people pleasing, and what is a lot of that just my pride of who I am, and occupying my highest potential, which is my preference, the preference that I have of how I wish to express myself in every way. So like how my body looks and acts, my hair, as superficial as these things are, it's hilarious, but I'm so thrilled with everything right now. I feel like my body is exactly the way I want it to be. Like in the best of ways. I have, for those of you that you might resonate with this, like I've always been pretty good with food, but for you guys to know, I have a ton of food allergies. I'm so sensitive to energy that if a food doesn't have love energy, I can't eat it. And it does disrupt my entire system. And the easiest way for me to receive love, I didn't have it as a child, quite literally. The easiest way for me to receive love was to go straight to the source of the food that grows out of the ground. So apples, bananas, smoothie, things that I know that have life force energy. So that's how I've been, anyway, we'll get back into this, but how I decipher food. And I had a breakthrough recently where I realized I can pour the love into the food. I can make alchemy out of food. I healed my relationship with food. I don't just have to eat like a primal, I want to say monkey, because monkeys just eat like fruit, and that's like, I'm like a rabbit. I like actually can make food, and I can eat whatever I want. It's not the way you guys would think whatever you want. I'm paleo, I'm very sensitive. Again, I have a lot of allergies and things like that, sensitivities. So like, I'm not really eating whatever I want, but for me, I'm eating whatever I want, and it feels incredible, and my body's responding really well to it. I'm exercising the way that I want to. I run, I swim, I surf. I go skateboarding. That's all I want to do with my life. Like I love this level of exercise, and my body loves it. It responds so well to it. What else? I've, and you guys, again, this looks super, I don't know, it sounds superficial coming out of my mouth, but it's really just, it has to do with your pride and your expression, your soul, how your soul expresses through your body, and whether or not those expressions match your internal and your external expression. For example, my hair has taken me years to get, if you guys knew how much trauma I had to overcome around my hair, around having curly hair, and around dyeing it blonde. Like the amount of trauma I had growing up, I was not allowed to dye my hair. I was not allowed to get my hair cut. I wore my hair in a tight bun because, can you give me a sensitive way of saying this on camera? I was sexually abused when I was a child, so there were certain things that I had to do to mask myself. One of those things was tying my hair back really tight, because the hair is your sensual experience. It's your sexuality is in your hair. There was so much shame in my programming around blonde hair. Like I had to stay natural brunette. Like blondes were dumb. There was so much negative programming around it. It was ridiculous. And it was something I really wanted. Like when I meet people like today, normal day, people assume, I mean, obviously I'm not like the dark will grow in. I just had my hair done. But it's like this is who I am. This is my personality. Like people can't imagine me without the blonde hair, because it literally is who I am. So it's like I had to overcome that. The curls, you guys, I adore. I'm so proud of myself at this point in my life. I adore them. I love them. I can't imagine being without them. They're so cute. Like all the time. And all I did was put mousse in my hair. I didn't do anything. I got so much flack for having curly hair. there were so many negative circumstances around having curly hair. So I hated having curly hair. I would flat iron the shit out of it my whole life. I would pray for them to go away. It was ridiculous. Anyway, but this is a real struggle. I'm being very honest with you guys. This is the very human sides of me, that all of these things I've had to massively overcome, that have to do with my personal image, my expression, how I see myself, how I feel about myself, how I express myself externally, and how happy I am with that expression now. So it took me a very, very long time to be okay with the curls, be okay. I adore them now. I love them. I would never be without them. One of my coaches a couple of years ago started warming me up to them. She was like, Emelina, just let it be curly for a minute. Just like be with it. Don't try to flat iron it. Don't carrot and treatment it. Just like be with it. And what triggered some of this is when I got my hair done. I don't know. I get it trimmed, right? I've got my very like LA cut. I know exactly what this cut is all the time. Like I coach everyone that does my hair. I'm like, you will do this and this and this and this. And they're like, well, I'm going to do it this way. I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to do what I asked you to do. Like, I know exactly the way my hair needs to look, and I know my hair better than you do. Some girls try to fight with me, and they're always wrong. I'm always right about my hair. I always know exactly what needs to happen to it, and as well as many other things in my life. I'm like creative director of everything. Anyway, okay, curls. What else did I want to say on that? Oh, because when they went to cut my hair, what cut did you call it? My hair? They're just specific things. I'm not gonna go through it, but they're just, it's a bob, but it's not that simple. Like there are very specific things in my hair that just like make it look good or don't, based on the curl. Most stylists don't know how to cut curly hair. They really F it up. So like, anyway, I have a system. That's a whole nother struggle. Cutting curly hair is very different than straight hair. Dylan, do you have curly hair? Is this why you're asking me? What did I want to say on the curls? Okay, so I had them cut 2 inches off. This is pretty much my stable length of hair. Does this matter? No, but there's a reason why I'm telling you. Okay, when I was 19, I cut my hair to this length, and I got a lot of flack for it. It was like, curls aren't meant to be that way. You're gonna look like a child. Nobody's gonna trust you. They're gonna spring up. You don't want your curls to spring up. You want them to be weighted down so that you can actually look good and look pretty. Obviously, I look gorgeous with my cut. Like, and everyone that sees me with my short hair is like, you are meant to have short hair. And I'm like, I know. The times where I've had long hair, I have hated it. It is not my personality. But when I was 19, I got it cut like this, and I got so much flack. And then when I was 21, I think I took I took my senior yearbook photos for college with hair just like this. Natural curl. I got flack for that too. A lot of people related to me and stuff. It's just like, it's just crazy, because if I look back then and then look at myself now, I'm like, that's who I am. This is who I am. But we often have to overcome between our internal and outward expression. We have to overcome, this isn't just me, this is all of you guys. You'll all find it in your subconscious. Like, why do you do certain things with your image and presentation or creative expression and not do others? Well, likely it's because you were shamed out of something, or told that something wasn't good enough, or presented you in a certain way, even though it might feel like your natural expression. And the goal is, can you be your natural expression? Can you dissolve and unwind and untangle those subconscious thoughts and belief patterns that are other people's opinions, trauma? So anyway, we'll go back to the cut. I go to get my hair cut. And I really got it dyed, right? And then I had them take 2 inches off. And I was like, I don't know. They were like, how much do you want to trim? And I was like, take 2 inches off. And the two stylists looked at me and they were like, well, are you aware that you have curly hair? And I was like, oh God, here we go. Like, we got a couple more morons here. Like, of course I'm aware I have curly hair. Like, what are you gonna be authoritative about me? No, of course, I'm gonna be 37 years old. Like, do you think it's the first time I got my hair cut? I did not say any of those things. I held that back. I just waited. I was like, this is the trauma I had as a child resurfacing in front of me so I can handle it. And they looked at me, they were like, are you sure? 2 inches is a lot. Because your curls, and then they started touching my hair. They were like, your curls are gonna shrink. And they were treating me like a child, like a moron. And I said, huh? Are they gonna shrink? Are the curls gonna shrink? They were like, when your hair dries, your curls are gonna shrink. And they kept, 2 people were touching my hair, pushing it up, going, they're gonna shrink. And I was like, right. In my head, I was like, Emelina, cool your jets. You were 37. You have had curly hair since you were born. Oh my God, I had no idea my hair was gonna shrink. I'm so uncomfortable with short hair. It's like all I've had my adult life because I love it. Like, what? Like, what? No, it's like, it's so funny when people project their authority on you based on what they think, based on cultural values, based on what's deemed attractive, right? Which is insane because I'm gorgeous. Like this, and that's not even me like propping myself, like truly, like I believe I'm beautiful. So it's even funny to see the confrontation of people being like, oh, it might not look good. And I'm like, what doesn't look good about this? Like, it's perfect. This is exactly who I am. It is exactly who I'm meant to be. Just do what I tell you to do. That's what happens with me at salons, you guys. I'm like, listen, you're gonna cut a 1/4 inch off here, you're gonna cut a 1/2 inch off here. I literally tell them exactly how to cut my hair. I'm like, texture 20%. I'm gonna teach you how to do the texture. We're gonna point cut it. I literally cut my hair myself in my bathroom if I need to, because people drive me crazy around haircuts. This is like my stylist moved back to Oregon, you guys. This is what I have to deal with now. She's my shaman stylist. Where do I want to go with that? I've had, it's just funny. It's just funny. I had someone comment recently on like, you guys, I will never shy away from this. I have facial expression lines. Someone was like, oh, you have forehead wrinkles. I was like, they're not wrinkles, sweetheart. Like these are my expressions. The reason why you think they're wrinkles is because you live in Beverly Hills. And the women here really like to poke shit in their face. Also, no offense if you do Botox. I don't mind. I just don't want to do it. I love my face. I love the lines. I love my expressions. It's like, it's just funny. It's funny that we live in a world that's constantly conforming us to be someone that we're not. It's a bunch of uncomfortable people looking for uncomfortable external validation where they feel safe in their expression, which is to limit your expression, because if you're feeling safe with your expression, it's probably because you're fitting in. I feel safe, but I will tell you, like, I stand out. So, I mean, if whether or not you feel safe standing out is the real question. And if you're being your true authentic self, you will stand out. And then it's like whether or not you feel safe in standing out. Kimmy, I saw you come in here. Hello, sweetheart. I cut my own hair because people won't listen because the energy exchange involved. Yeah, did you see the video? I put a couple videos on haircuts. Yes, people don't listen. They truly don't. Well, they do now with me because I have a very specific list on what looks good for my hair. And people, this isn't just with hair. This is just people in general. It's very obvious in the beauty professions, I think. Or people's opinions on how you should look. Where people are very authoritative. Especially, for me, it's been stylists a lot. They're very authoritative. They're like, well, no, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, actually, I'm a level 6 hair. You can pull it up to a level 9. I need you to not overlap the bleach. I need you to use a softer bleach because that bleach is not F up my hair. I'm like, literally, I go through all of these things with people and they're like, no, I'm the expert here. And I was like, this last time I was like, that's cute. That's really cute. There are a lot of things that you know that I don't know, but I know my hair. And for hair, we could say, I know my experience. I know my personality. I know what's important to me. I know how my body works. I know my energy. Now, on the hair stuff, Kimmy, you might find this valuable. Anyone else for hair things? I do a shamanic ritual before I leave, because your hair, when you have people working on your hair, they are physically in your crown chakra. They're in your energy body, not just in your energy, like giving you a hug, like they're in your spiritual energy, and they have their fingers in your spiritual energy. Whatever they have going on can affect you. For empaths, it can be very difficult. Hair is a challenging and can be a traumatic topic, because if you're not self-protected, you can absorb other people's, I don't know, spiritual baggage. Go watch my videos on identity, on physical identity, and on my YouTube channel. Like, I talk about this. Anyway, so what I do, and this has helped a ton, you guys, I call in, I do a shamanic ceremony before I leave the house. I pray over my head. Really important to do for any work on your hair. Pray over your head, because you're praying over your crown chakra. Pray for your spirit to dictate what's happening and what's going on. Pray that you feel safe. Pray that you are creating that safe space and nothing is deposited in you or on you. Pray that you are radiating what you need. Pray that what needs to be released is released. Pray that you're in a safe, sacred space. When people are working on your hair, be very mindful of the conversations. Don't engage in gossip conversations, because what you're doing is you're playing with and contorting your crown energy. It's very typical at salons to be very gossipy. I don't allow any of it. I literally will tell people, like, hey, I don't want to really talk about anything negative. Do you mind if we're just quiet? I'll say things like that. I did that with a tattoo I got a couple months ago too, because she was trying to talk all this and she started gossiping, and I was like, well, let me slow you down. I was like, do you mind if we're just really quiet? I was like, I'm gonna meditate while you're doing my tattoo. And I pulled in my ancestors and my guides, and I programmed it while she was doing it. It was great. Same thing with the hair. I just like sit there and meditate while they're pulling me up to a gorgeous platinum. That's a whole nother thing, by the way, too, because when you pray over your hair, I had all of the elementals with me and my ancestors, and I was like, make it what it needs to be. Protect my hair, bring me into the vibrational frequency that is the best for me right now. I did not ask them to put platinum in my hair, and my hair is platinum. Like good chunks of it anyway, my money pieces, right? And when I channeled after, my guides were like, we needed you to feel safe lifting up to the top of your range. The top of my range of my hair is a level 10. It's as high as you can go, and that is what this is. And it was very scary for me. I was like, did you guys raise me to a platinum? I was like, I don't know if I can maintain that. I can, but it's maintenance. That's the thing about spiritual work, right? It's like when you're raising, oh, I love that we're circling back right now. When you're stepping into your highest potential, you're becoming the highest version of yourself. Onion layer after onion layer after onion layer. Really becoming who you're meant to become. You can think about it like, for women, this will be easier. Think about it like your hair, when you're lifting your hair in a bleach. So I'm a natural level 6, which is the darkest blonde. It's a dirty blonde. Or the lightest brown. Is that right? I don't know. Everybody always says I have dirty blonde hair. They've been saying that since I was a kid, and I'm like, I have brown hair. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, enough said. A level 10 is platinum. So my guides explained it to me after they lifted me to a 10, because I was shocked when I got home. I was just like, how? I was like, what level of maintenance is this going to take? I mean, I do maintain it. I really do take care of my hair. But it was it's literally, if you think about going from a 6 to a 10, a 6 is much darker. A 10 is the lightest that you can go. It is going to the top of the range of light in the crown chakra, in the hair follicles. My guides, when I got home, thanks, Kimmy. Some of my clients said that too. They were like, it looks really great. I was like, I know, I'm just adjusting. I feel like an elf. I'm like, I feel like they brought out the elf side of me with platinum. Actually looks really good on camera right now. It's got like a pearl toner in it. I'm really into it. It has to do with going to the top of the range. So my guides facilitated the hairstylist, because I would not, if I had to say my 2 cents, and I think I did say some things, I would not have brought my hair to a level 10. And my guides were like, we needed you to trust the process of going to the top of your range of light, literally. Your light work. Can you maintain the level 10 in platinum? This is very physical, but there's an entire energetic process behind this that my guides have been explaining to me. They're like, Emelina, can you maintain being at the top of your range all the fucking time? Can you maintain your highest potential all the fucking time? Without having to go down a couple layers, without having to dim yourself, without having to dim your crown, literally the glow around the crown. Can you take up space? Can you expand? Can you be comfortable with that expansion? And I know I've said this in previous streams, so those of you that have watched will remember. Can you maintain, can you give your soul the maintenance level that it needs? The women will know. Those of you that have platinum hair, especially lifting from a brown or a blonde, it's effing high maintenance. There is nothing low maintenance about platinum hair. I have been learning for years to make sure that I can continually maintain my highlights. Like, because it is a process. And the soul is no different. Your highest potential is no different. You can't lazy through your highest potential. It requires superb high maintenance. So if you want to activate your identity into your highest potential and maintain your highest potential, it does require maintenance. Your soul is a high maintenance babe. I've never like heard of a high maintenance dude, so I'm going to call it a high maintenance babe. But if you're a guy, you're a high maintenance babe. Okay. That's how the soul is. There's nothing low maintenance about your soul. Your soul is demanding. Your soul is commanding. Your soul takes up space. Your soul says, I'll have what I want. That's what I want. I'm going to have it and I'll take nothing less. Your soul has high standards. Your soul is unyielding. Your soul is uncompromising. Your soul refuses to self-sacrifice. Your soul refuses to deal with anything less than ideal. It's like the soul knows what's going on all the time. We do other things down here as humans. We sacrifice. We overcompromise. We make exceptions. We lower our standards. We tell people it's okay to treat us like shit sometimes based on depending how they're gonna like transactionally love us at some point. It's just like, there are so many things that we do. The soul is high maintenance. The soul is like, I'm level 10. I'm hot. How are you going to take care of me? And that's like a daily practice, right? Truly. And I think it's so funny that my soul teaches me so much through superficial, physical identity things that I typically never talk about, that I'm happy that I'm just like spilling out on stream right now because it's been so present with me, because everything's lining up. It's personal self-expression, like my outfits, the way I feel in my body, the way I'm eating, my relationship with food, the way my body looks, the way my hair looks, the way my hair feels. It is its natural curl. You guys, 5 years ago, I would have freaked out. I would have freaked out. There would have been no way in hell I would have worn my hair curly. Never in a million years. It felt so uncomfortable because this is natural. So it was like I was trying to hide a part of myself so that I could be comfortable fitting into one degree or another. So it's like literally like so many aspects of myself I am so happy with and comfortable with. My home, like the way I've expressed myself through my home, all the plants, all the things I have, the fact that I don't have a TV, like just, oh God, things that I just love that are so me, that other people may find fault with. I'm just so happy and proud of myself that I am just myself. Like I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. I have a zero tolerance. I am in direct alignment with that high maintenance soul babe. Me and my soul, we're like tight. We tight. So all of that to say, I'm more just sharing it to give you the permission, because I know not many people speak the way that I speak. It's really important to be proud of yourself. we often look for validation from other people because we actually are proud of ourselves, but it's not like societally acceptable to ask for someone to give you that validation or to openly celebrate yourself. It's not normal, okay? I do it all the time. I'm very well practiced at it. I give people, because I want to be celebrated in front of other people, I'm nurturing my inner child in that way, and it's why I'm not a destructive human. And why I'm happy is because I frequently celebrate myself in front of other people. And I ask my permission. I'm just like, hey, can I share something with you I'm really proud of myself for? I say it all the time, you guys, all the time. I will call friends and I'm like, hey, I'm really proud of myself for something. Can I tell you about it? Because ultimately good people, people that love and support you and care about you, want to hear what you're celebrating in yourself and will reinforce it for you. But they're likely not going to just give it to you because they don't know what you need. They're self-focused because they should be. They're focused on their shit. They're living their life. They don't know what they're proud of you for. You know what I mean? Unless you encounter a Leo. Those of you that are Leos, God loves a good Leo. Emelina loves a good Leo. Because they are always like, I don't know. I have so many Leo friends. They're just like, Emelina, I'm so proud of you for bop, bop, bop. They're so affirmation based. I clearly receive love through affirmation. I'm just like, I'm like, Leos, come on in. I'll pump you back up too. Oh yeah, Dylan, Leo. Yeah. Leos are like literally like one of my favorite signs. I'd say Libras too, but we're a mixed bag, man. Leos and Libras are similar. Leos are like the more vibrant Libras. Libras are the more toned down Leos. Even though it's an air versus sun, fire sign. Anyway, that's how I interpret it. What's another sign I love? Aries. I love the fire signs, you guys. I can't even. I've got so many best friends that are Aries. That my soul. Okay, this is just funny. We're just giving, again, this is the rant session, and then I'll probably leave stream because I know I've been ranting for a while. My soul, my first boyfriend when I was a teen was an Aries. The first guy I fell in love with was an Aries. When my ex and I parted ways, I shit you not, the universe, like, there was one guy I met that I was like, God, he's so cute. And I looked at him and I was just like, you have a birthday around March 28th? And he just looked at me, he was like, how the hell would you know that? I was like, well, I just have a type. And they tend to be born between March 22nd and April 1st. Like, for years. I don't know, 2 years, it was just like the universe was just like, Aries, 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 Aries. And I was like, why do you keep sending me Aries? And one of my coaches was like, Emelina, you're learning how to wield your fire. And then after the Aries, there was a set of Leos. And I'm just like, it's funny how the soul will work. This is my comment for you. I don't know, those of you that have specific archetypes that you're dating, and the coach that I'm thinking of was like, she had a specific archetype around like, Aquarius. She was like, anyone I'm attracted to, they were an Aquarius. I'm like, yeah, Aries and Leos just get they get my attention. But it's more because we're looking in our environments to reflect the aspects of ourselves that we need to own. So like, yeah, the fire signs. It's funny too, because a lot of people like think I'm a Leo, and I'm like, I know I present that way, like now, because I've learned, you know, when the universe pitches you so much fire, you learn how to be the fire, because that was the whole purpose. Like the universe was like, Emelina, you're not getting it. We'll put another relationship in front of you. There's another hot man. Like there's another hot woman. Like here are all the hots. They're all fire signs. You gonna learn how to wield your fire? Or you're gonna keep being an air sign. If you guys have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon, I wouldn't say this now, but I used to be very much like Aang, the main character. He's an airbender. We're just like conflict avoidant, like super Libra. So very conflict avoidant, like don't ruffle the feathers. I'll just run, you know. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. That's a problem. I don't think so. I'm just out of here. And I really had to learn. I had to learn fire. I had to learn passion. I had to learn being argumentative. I had to learn conflict. I had to learn embracing personal power. They've been my largest lessons. I have A very, very strong Aries placement in my chart, my astrology chart. A number of Aries placements, actually, as well as a Aries, what's it called? North Node. So the fire traits are my evolution. The more fire I can wield in a really healthy way, the more I evolve. So that's how I run. That's how I work. I'm sure that message will resonate with someone. Let me think about if there's anything else I want to touch on. I really just trust that whatever wants to come through me is what someone needs to hear somewhere. And it tends to be the case. So I really like that it works that way. I think this whole stream, the identity I've been talking about, the identity shift, when you really start to see the external expression, the external image match who you think you are, match who you want to be, match who you feel yourself into being, I think that's really success and happiness and progress. And it really does have to do with identity. So I'll give you guys some more examples from my upbringing. I've had to overcome so many mean negative belief patterns around my physical expression and my physical image based on my truth of my soul, because I was really giving counter frequencies. So it's like, you know, I'm very beachy. When people meet me, they're like, oh, you're a beach babe. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a huge aspect of who I am at my core, whether or not I'm at the beach. I'm laid back, I'm relaxed. I also can be very intense, but it's like, you know, like I tend to come off more on the beachy side of things. And it's a huge aspect of my personality, but it's funny because the way that I grew up in upstate New York. I was born in New York City, and my family's from New York City. And I would go there frequently, and I lived in Brooklyn. So I've got a lot of like upstate experience as well as New York City experience. Explaining that because the New York City experience is a superbly urban, dog eat dog, like aggressive experience, right? And then I've got the upstate New York experience, which is mountainous. I taught skiing and snowboarding for 10 years. Like it's very like mountain oriented. I did a lot of hiking in the Adirondacks. Most of my dates were hiking. Now that I'm thinking about it. I went to college in Vermont, like very mountainy. So like it's funny because I really was raised in a mountain personality, I guess. But I am actually very beachy. But the way that I was raised, beaches weren't okay. Bikinis were definitely not okay. Swimsuits were not okay. I would have been demonized for swimming. Swimming was not okay. Water was not okay. Any level of sensual understanding, which is water sensualness, was not okay. It was totally demeaned. So it's like, it is hilarious the amount that I've had to overcome to be who I am, to be this version of myself that looks so effortless, because it is who I am at the soul level. But it is not how I was raised. And I was demonized for this. So it's like, there are many. It's like, I guess I'm saying all of this because it's like one thing to see someone really glowing and being who they are and being like vibrant and like, I'm beautiful. And then people go, they're beautiful, they had it easy. And then they get jealous, and it's funny and it's hilarious and whatever. Let them do whatever they're gonna do. Whenever someone's beautiful, and all of you are beautiful, whenever someone's beautiful, there's someone that's gonna be jealous of them. It's like ridiculous. But I guess what I'm saying to you is like, it's been a freaking journey to get here today. Like, to be able to sit here in front of you in this way with this cute ass hair, like I can't get over the curls, which again is hilarious because I hated them. You have no idea how many keratin treatments I've done in my life to flatten out the curls. So literally to be here and tell you how much I adore them is such a level of healing. My stylist knows, the one in Argus. She knows. She'd be like, you love your Emelina. She'd be like, oh my God, you healed. I'd be like, I know. I accepted myself. You know, there are so many aspects, and I'm not the only one that does this. I'm more pointing it out as permission. You know, obviously everything I do, like these are downloads and transmissions. It'll start to pull up some things out of your subconscious that'll start to reconcile in a really beautiful way. You know, how many, men are like this too, but really like for women, externally focused, it's like, how many aspects of yourself do you hate? Like for women, it's like, oh, I hate my thigh. Like I've been like this too. I focus and work through everything. I really work on healing everything physically, because the soul projects through the physical body. So if there are things you don't like about your physical body, they are things that you don't like about your soul. They are aspects of your shadow expression that need to be reconciled. Like it's all in direct proportion. So there were things like, I don't know, like depending on where you hold weight in your body, some women hate certain aspects of their body. Those are hating specific experiences that need to be resolved. Your hair is very important for spirituality. Like how you perceive your hair is everything. It is very surface level, but it's not surface level at all. Like it took me 35 years to love the fact that I have curly hair. What is that? If I were to break it down spiritually, if someone were sitting in front of me, just say I'm dropping truth bombs, just casually dropping truth bombs. Yes. If I had a client sitting in front of me and they were telling me all of this about their hair, the way that I've been describing to you guys, I would go, oh, you've been keeping your inner child locked in a cage, huh? I bet she doesn't like that. I bet you feel really sexually repressed. I bet you feel creatively repressed. It sounds like there might be some sexual trauma that needs to be worked through. Why are you punishing your inner child? We need to look at some reparenting. That's what I would take a client through based on what I just told you about myself, about just the hair, because my hair is curly. There's different data points energetically based on your hair type and things like that. So let me break it down because I think it's really fun and interesting. I have fine hair. This is the Italian side of my family. I have the Italian hair. Okay, it's very fine. And I have a lot of it. The curls come from the mix of things. I am a mutt, like probably many of you. I am mainly Italian, Sicilian specifically, Puerto Rican. That breaks down into Spanish, French, and Native. And I am Scottish. So the Scottish, the Puerto Rican, and the Italian, all three of them are curls. They all got curls. Different types of curls. But anyway, I got the Italian hair. Where was I going with that? It had to do with inner child. The type of hair. Okay, so curls. I don't know why I'm going into this. Somebody somewhere is going to need to hear this. Curly hair is significant of someone that has more intuitive data, is more subtly psychic than those with straight hair. The curls, there are a lot of channels and stuff around this. And when someone like me runs from curly hair, it's me running from the fact that I'm so cosmically oriented. Like I'm downloading all the time. So if I don't want to receive too much information when I'm going out in public, and I do this a lot, you guys will see me all the time on stream, right? Like my hair is like tied back, is because I don't want the whatever the hell is going on. If I take this hair and go out into a crowded urban space or go to a comedy club, curly hair is antenna. And I'm very vibrant and light because I'm in the platinum range right now with my hair. It's very, very light, which means there's less like robust, like protein protection at the hair level to keep anything out. I'm literally just vibrating. Like I'm just like a little sponge. And a receiver, again, for you guys to know, curls are antenna energetically. They pull in a lot of information. I don't know why I'm explaining this, but I'm just going to go here because it's really coming through pretty strongly. So anyone that's pushing up against curly hair, if you have curly hair and you don't like it, you don't know what to do with it, or it's actually not about the curls, and it has everything to do with how you streamline and digest spiritual information and how comfortable you are with your psychic abilities, comfortable or not comfortable. Maybe you do need to dial them down. You know, when I am in crowded environments, I really do try not to have my hair openly curly because it does pick things up and I don't like it. When I'm safe at home, when I'm with someone I adore, when I'm on dates, like I can let it do its thing because I want to absorb what's going on. When I want to feel free in my expression. It also totally makes sense. I really think it's going to parallel with some of you guys, but it makes sense that I hated my curls for so much because I didn't feel free. I didn't feel safe to feel free in my creative expression because of the amount of trauma I've had around things like that in my past. Without getting into it, it just is what it is. So it's interesting how, again, circling back to an earlier part of this conversation with me and you guys, is that the microcosm and the macrocosm, like they're all happening at the same time. So me talking about curly hair, I may as well be talking about self-acceptance, your ability to trust your body. Your hair is part of your body, your soul's expression through the body, how much you embrace or control what is more of you or less of you. So like my curls are meant to be here with me. You know, when I do straighten my hair, which isn't as often now at all, I'm like, that's not me. But if you were to look at photos between when I was 13 years old and 35, my hair's freaking pin straight. I was obsessive about it because I didn't want to accept those intuitive parts about me, because I didn't want to accept the truth of the situation of what was going on around me, what my intuition was telling me. I was surrounded by bad people that had mal and ill intent, that were highly manipulative. I'm related to a lot of them. You know, there were a lot of truths about what was around me and what I was born into, what I grew up in, that I didn't want to accept. So I straightened it out of my hair so I could ignore it. Until we get to self-acceptance, until we accept the inner child. Again, it's just coming back to curls because for me, that's the inner child. Talking to the inner child, letting the inner child do her thing, letting the inner child pull her hair back when she wants, letting the inner child have short hair because she enjoys having short hair. Regardless of how many people in my life have said, well, oh, but the curls are going to, are you sure? The curls are going to shrink. Are you sure you want short hair? And I'm just like, oh my God, what is wrong with this society that I can't have short hair, short curly hair? You guys will agree with me. I know you will, because